Good morning. I'm here with the first of, I'm sure, many coming attractions for you. So the purpose of this is to give you a quick, brief overview of what's going to happen this week. So let's get started. We're in week 3. And the first thing is you're going to take part in a pandemic group activity. Many of you already did last night. I hope you enjoyed it. We thought it was fun, but it gave you an opportunity to simulate crisis. Typically, we would have been in an escape room, but this actually was even better because it was time important, and it was also something that gave you a chance to look at yourself and your colleagues in a different way. You looked at your own reactions to crisis. You also should stop and ask yourself, what did you learn? You reacted to climate, and climate of the organization is incredibly important. You theorized how you would deal as you worked through going back to work. And so that's sort of what you've done. So let's talk about what you're going to do this week. There are readings. You go to week 3. Make sure you get in and look at the readings and kind of theorize about time and how to make sure you get it all accomplished. Then you're also got two videos, I believe, that you're going to watch. And for week 3, you have another unusual discussion. Here's our discussion. Week 3, you're going to post an original post. You do not need to have any sources, but you have to create a question. That's the exciting thing. What is the question that you want other people in your group, in this class, to actually comment on? And it has to be something to do with the pandemic activity you experienced last night. You are proposing the question. All you do this week, and it's your turn to drive, is propose the question. No one has to respond to anyone this week. You just have to post the question. You probably need to put a little bit of thought into it, so the question alone may not be as profound as giving a little bit of information about your experience. Doesn't mean it has to be incredibly long, but it should be meaningful, and it needs to be clear to make sure that your colleagues know how to respond to you. In week 4, you are going to respond to each other's questions. So again, this week, you're just going to post your question with a little bit of information, and that question has to do with the pandemic group activity. I do want you, Lisa and I would like you to take some time and talk to the people that are going to be in your group activity, your group project, and decide what you're going to work on. What is the one thing in this program that you would like to really identify, look at, and potentially change? All you have to do this week is just decide on the topic and decide who will have what roles. Now, roles depend on your group, but you should have someone who arranges the meetings, that sort of is the liaison and puts things together, somebody who takes all the notes, and then someone who might do the final production of your entire project, whether it's a PowerPoint or whatever. And then finally, in week 3, you have the final part of the 3 first weeks, and that is your paper. So in week 1, and I'm just reminding you where you are. Week 1, you submitted a paper that you wrote about your experience with the pandemic this far and about change. You submitted it to me. I gave you 100 points for submitting, and then I gave you feedback. At that point, you were supposed to submit it to your peer reviewer. In week 2, your peer reviewer would look at your paper and you would look at theirs. There is a document contained in week 2 that's called peer review, revision, and reflection. All that is due in week 2 is to click on that, complete that form, and submit it. The submission of it is sufficient to warrant 100 points. If you don't submit it, you don't get the points. If you got jammed up and you didn't get the peer review in time, still do it. Week 3, you need to have had Jean look at your paper. Jean is our writing tutor. ahking@goodwin.edu. Jean will evaluate your paper and give you feedback. You're then going to take, by next Tuesday, June 2nd, you're going to take all the feedback from me, from your peer reviewer, from Jean. You're going to make whatever revisions you need to, and you're going to submit that paper again. Again, it is due Tuesday, June 2nd by 11:59 p.m. In terms of grading for week 2, you should be receiving feedback by Monday. So I hope that provides you with all the information you need. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. And remember that wisdom begins in wonder. And that's from Socrates. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.